UAE put Pakistan into bat. Pakistan had a few hiccups. Then the innings was pretty flat. But then Shaheen came and added that fizz to that innings. Pakistan have finished with 146 in their 20 overs. Fakhar Zaman 50, Shaheen Afridi 29. Junaid Siddique got 4 wickets in his 4 overs. We are back at Cricbuzz Live. I have got Murali, Kartik, a very competitive Murali, Kartik, and Rohan Gavaskar. Rohan, once again, I feel sorry for you. You were so
close, but yet so far.
It's that copy-paste of yesterday, but that's what...
Yesterday was 1 run, today is 3 runs. But it is what it is. Got to take it in the right spirit.
I'm not should learn a little bit on that spirit.
No, I'm not going to protest and say that I'm not coming tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow. I'll take it in the right spirit.
I never said I'm not coming tomorrow. All I said was take my name off the list because I suck at this guessing game this year or this tournament. So take me out of the competition.
Well, no one's going out of the competition.
No, there's no $1 million on me, so I can...
There's no money that's going to be put onto you. But what was this pitch? Were the little devils in that pitch that UAE probably saw, which is why they decided to bowl?
Well, and they're hoping that the dew comes in. But you've got to say they did really well for most of the second half of the innings. After the first 10, there were 67 for 2 Pakistan, which I thought was a good platform. The first 6 again, after they got those 2 wickets early on, 9 for 2. If you're 39 for 2, you've got to say the bowling team has got the upper hand. But after that, I thought UAE did really well in that 11 to 15 stage where they've conceded only 26 runs and picked up 3 wickets. And then again, towards the end, except for that last over, I mean, that last over went for 18 runs. 18 runs. If that had gone for 9 or 10 runs, then you've got to say UAE in a really strong position. But that last over really turned things around, and you've got to say Pakistan will be happy with what's happened and going into the halfway stage with a little bit of momentum.
Well, Kartik, it's same Ayub now because it's 3-3 for him, and it's really unfortunate because we saw the fans, we saw the expressions. He's trying. It's not like he's not. We spoke about it in the com box, but luck is just not favouring him.
Yeah, sometimes you just take it on your chin. You can only try. You can only put in your best, give it your best shot, and things aren't working. And sometimes when the deeper you try, the harder you think, you seem to get into a mire. And I think that's what's happening to Saiyami. But the good thing is that he's contributing with the ball. That is very important. It's funny. Who was it? I think
Shaheen. Shaheen is down with the runs.
Shaheen, the lead bowler, is possibly the highest wicket taker. Highest run getter.
Yeah.
And Saiyami at the top of the order is the highest wicket taker.
They should maybe just swap them and change the batting order a little bit.
They did today, didn't they? They sent Fakhar Zaman, which I was happy that he came in at number 3.
Shaheen and Ayub.
Oh, you mean like that?
I'm saying if they swap that, maybe luck will change for Ayub.
Maybe, but Saiyami won't accept that. He's going to think, I am a frontline batsman, you're sending me.
But I said in the com box that sometimes when you're in the spotlight, sometimes it's good just to take a step away, maybe miss a match or 2. And then come back, just so that you can refresh, recharge, and then come back with a better mindset.
Yeah, I think you can do that in a bilateral tournament, but in a multi-nation tournament, is it when you've got only that many games, and if you're crucial to the team's chances, especially as a bowler. Look, he's still contributing with the ball, and he's been pretty good. He's been pretty handy at the top of the bowling lineup, so it'll be interesting. It's easy when you're in a 6-match bilateral tournament.
You take a break, or or franchise tournament where you think, okay, listen, miss a couple of games.
Yeah, but what was interesting for me was, yes, they did promote Fakhar Zaman, which we've been talking about. Maybe it should be opening. But I was surprised that they pushed
lower down
Haris behind. And that was a bit surprising because he batted pretty well. And Mohammad Haris coming in at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was a bit surprising. He still contributed 18 or 14, but the telling blow, the back-to-back games has been Shaheen Afridi.
Yes.
Even against India.
Run getter here.
Yeah, even against India, it was his contribution in the end, which actually took them to a reasonable total. And again today, when it seemed as if UAE was all over Pakistan, again 29, telling contribution.
But also they were 9 for 2, and Fakhar Zaman with that 50, and captain put and consolidated that partnership, which was also very crucial, because it almost looked like they were cruising along when we spoke in the comm box. You said, okay, 67 for 2. From here on, you felt like 160 was easily 160, 170.
They should have got there, especially if we spoke about the fact that if these two battle the 14th or 15th over, then that's laid a platform for the the batters to follow, to come in and have a proper bash right from word go without having to worry about consolidating the innings. Ideally, in a T20 game, you shouldn't be worried about consolidating an innings, because it's very rare that you're going to get all out. So you have that luxury of taking risks and being aggressive right from word go. But this is such a crucial match. There's so much riding on this game that you felt that middle order, that not middle overs, that 10 to 16, 17th overs, it just didn't go Pakistan's way.
But also brilliant bowling. You have to give
for sure. But while you have to give credit where credit's due, and you give the UAE bowlers a lot of credit, like I keep saying, the Pakistani batters, with the quality they have, with the experience that they have, they should have still put in a better performance in those middle overs.
But it was also Fakhar Zaman's innings. We speak about experience.
Yeah.
We spoke about, taking those singles and twos, which is what he did so well today, Kartik, because he's got those 3 6s, 2 4s, but he was also taking those singles and twos.
Yeah, he did. And also, when you look at Fakhar Zaman, that's what he does. He's such a dynamic player, a batter who most bowlers fear. But again, when you talk about Fakhar Zaman, just that middle over which Rohan Gavaskar is talking about, I think the way Hyder Ali and Simran bowled to him, when you look at it, they kept it wide outside the off stump, because they know that he targets the onside. Fakhar Zaman is somebody who likes to go long on to deep mid wicket or square leg, but they just kept dragging him outside the off stump, slightly slow, slightly short, asking him to cut and hit the square boundaries, and he constantly was hitting either covers or going towards long off. He didn't have the pace to find deep points. So that was, I think, a very smart bit of bowling. I don't know why Rohan is smiling.
I'm smiling because you're saying Fakhar Zaman, you don't have to say Rohan Gavaskar. The first time I heard you say my full name. Otherwise you say Rohan, Ronnie, this, that, other names that you call me, which I can't say on TV. But the first time, Fakhar Zaman, Rohan Gavaskar.
He's ignored you, Rohan.
He's ignored me again.
That's it. You've lost him there now. I think you have to say Rohan Gavaskar every time you address Rohan henceforth. We'll try that, Kartik. We'll try that.
All right, my flow of thoughts is gone.
Which is why I moved to UAE's bowlers, because your flow will come back, because they were very impressive. We spoke about Junaid, Siddique in our pre-match show. He did what he was meant to do. Came out, got those early wickets. 4 for 18 in his 4. Very impressive.
Yeah, look at 4 for 18 and you think, wow, phenomenal numbers if you look at them in isolation. But when you consider the fact that in his first spell of 2 overs, he bowled 11 dot balls and conceded 3 runs and picked up 2 wickets. That really put the pressure on Pakistan. But again, he's taken on the responsibility. He said, look, I'm the leader of the bowling unit. I've got to show everyone the rest of the way how to go about, against this Pakistani batting lineup. And he's done just that. Kudos to him.
And also that last name in that bowling card, how happy were you to see the spinner doing so well, comes and picks up the 3 wickets, Simranjeet?
Just the way he bowled. I think in modern day T20 cricket, you normally see people who dart the ball, who are quicker through the head, hardly try and spin the ball. Here was somebody who bowled old school left arm spin, very slow through the air, spun the ball, barring one over, I think, where he went for a few runs. He was absolutely spot on in the way he thought about his bowling, got the ball to turn as well, and then not to forget the celebration. So when you're bowling, when half the time people say, oh, left-arm spinners can't bowl to left-handers, here was the case where I have to mention Hyder Ali as well.
Yes.
Because before Simranjeet came on to bowl, it was Hyder Ali who bowled a major part of his 4 overs to Fakhar Zaman, and he was the one who kept him in check. So it was very good to see these left-arm spinners bowling, one getting wickets, one not getting wickets, but applying enough pressure. But coming back to Simran, just the old school style, slower through the air. Sometimes you feel that it can still be used in modern day T20 cricket. So good to see him do really well. And yeah, good that they all contributed. As Rohan said, except for the last over, which went for 18. I thought that the UAE bowlers were well in command against the Pakistani batters.
Yeah, and that last over by Rohit. So
Little unfair on him, no? Because
absolutely,
he bowled well.
because I thought he bowled really well in this innings. That last over, when you look at it,
Only the first 3 balls.
yeah,
Yes.
and then it's a good comeback.
Great comeback.
But so I mean, the fact that he went for 18 in the last over will spoil his numbers a little bit. He's gone for 36, and the economy's gone up to 9, the most expensive. But
He had gone for 18 in the first 3.
yeah, and but if you have a look at that dot ball again, you know, we look at dot balls a lot. He's bowled more than 2 overs of dot balls. So if you take away that last over, he was magnificent as well, Rohit. So you've got to say,
Absolutely. All of them.
Yeah.
Half a mark, who's holding the advantage then? Experience of Pakistan?
120, 125, I would have said UAE in the game. Does this score give Pakistan a bit more edge?
It gives Pakistan a bit more belief. It gives them a bit more confidence. If
The due factor.
if the due factor like Mohammad Waseem at the toss, due factor comes in, then I still think UAE should be able to do it.
No, it hinges on the start.
It hinges on the
Alishan,
start.
Sharafu and Mohammad
I was going to say the first 6 overs will be key, and then with the due factor coming in later. So if it does come in, so what you don't want to do is lose too many wickets in the first 6. And if those two bat the first 6, they'll be off to a flyer.
Yeah.
But it definitely gives them Pakistan a lot more confidence and a lot more belief that they can salvage something from this game.
Yeah, and the fact that if UAE can get off to a decent start, that'll give their own camp a lot of belief.
Yes. Yeah.
Even if they lose a couple of wickets in the middle, which can happen, given that Pakistan are also in the game. But if they get off to a good and a smooth start, it'll give UAE a lot of belief.
Well, we'll see what happens in that chase. But let's have a look at what's happening tomorrow, because there is a very important game coming up tomorrow. Sri Lanka versus Afghanistan's match number 11 happening at Abu Dhabi. I thought we'll discuss this game quickly as well, because we know that those 2 points riding in that group is pretty much a knockout game tomorrow.
Yeah, well, look, you know, if Afghanistan win and they get to 4 points and Bangladesh are knocked off simply because the net run rate is so much better. Bangladesh and all Bangladesh fans will be hoping that Sri Lanka, with all the experience and all the ability, will be able to put one over Afghanistan. So in a sense, yes, absolute knockout game. No real pressure on Sri Lanka as long as they don't lose by a really heavy margin. They're through. So it's all about can Afghanistan get the 2 points and seal their spot in the Super Fours.
Well, they have won 2-2 Sri Lanka, but that game against Hong Kong, 150 they were chasing, and they had a few tense moments in that game. So they will, if they want a clean win going into the Super Fours.
Look, you are bound to get the odd few hiccups every now and then. You have to give a lot of credit to Hong Kong and their fight back and their spirit that they showed and the improvement that they showed more than anything else. When we saw them the first time around against Afghanistan to the last game, there was a marked improvement in the way they performed and just the way they showcased themselves. Yes, their fielding was iffy, barring the second game, their catching, which actually allowed Sri Lanka to come back into the game, because at one stage, after the 10th over, we all felt that there was a lot for Sri Lanka to do. And that was the time when they dropped 4 or 5 catches. And again, in the end, there was 1 over which went for a few runs. Again, that bit of over-enthusiasm which they exhibited. I think just thinking of Sri Lanka, they'll be happy that they got away with the win. They scraped through whatever just that sparked. And then you need to start afresh, because different challenges. You're up against 3 high-quality bowlers. You don't know what the pitch is going to be like. And maybe do Afghanistan think of making any changes with the way they've bowled? Fazalak Farooqi has not fired. We spoke about him as
though.
Is he out of the tournament?
Yeah. I think he's out of the tournament.
The shoulder injury.
Yeah,
So
I think he's out of the tournament now.
Yeah, so do they get another spinner? Do they? Do you reckon there's a chance for Mujibur Rahman as well? Because I love getting all the spinners in.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible depending on what the pitch is going to be like. Again, sitting here in the studio, it's hard to say what the pitch is going to be like, but they might get another spinner in.
And they've only been playing in Abu Dhabi. I don't think they've played one game in Dubai. I think they had a 6-day break. The first game was Abu Dhabi, second game.
I'm sorry, Naveen Haq is out, not Farooqi.
Oh, Naveen Haq is out. Sorry, not Fazal.
Naveen Haq.
So he's not been firing with the wickets up front, and Naveen Haq had come into the team, but he's gone out because of injury. So, But we'll just have a look at that Sri Lanka squad, and you think they will go ahead with any changes at all? Things have been going well for them, so no changes for them, you think, Rohan?
I don't think they'll make any changes. I think, with the side that they have, it's well settled. Before the start of the tournament, the player to watch out for, I had said Junaid Velalage, because he's a really exciting young talent, but I don't think they'll make any changes. If at all they make any changes, I'd like to see him play, but I don't think they'll make any changes to the 11.
In the last game, they brought Tikshana instead of Patirana. And I think that was the only change they made, if I'm not mistaken. It'll be interesting. I don't get the feeling that they should make any changes coming in.
And Nissanka has been in great form, so he'll want to continue his form. He's got 2 half centuries, and he'd want to take that form into the Super 4 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he brings a lot of class and calm at the top of the order. He's unhurried in the way he bats, in spite of, and still is pretty fluent with the bat. And also, just the way he plays spin and pace. I think there's a lot of class over there. So, of course, they would want him to continue with his form.
For Afghanistan, they will want their openers to get going. Atal has been doing well, but the last game he didn't have a good day out. But otherwise, they'll want their openers to do well. And, of course, this is a high-pressure game for them.
Well, it's a high-pressure game simply because so much rides on it in terms of qualification. And also, I think Afghanistan are a team which now, whenever they play against one of the big boys, want to make a point, want to show that, look, we belong here. Like, we've come to show you how good we are. And you're right. I think Atal would be the key. If you had to pick one batter from the batting orders, who would you put your hopes on, to make sure that they get a big score? It would be Atal.
But also for them, there is Noor, there is Rashid. Ghaznfar the other day didn't have a good day. Rashid with the bat, would you have liked to see him come up a little bit?
Yes, we spoke about this yesterday, didn't we? Maybe there was a bit of a hindsight thought for us that maybe he should have come in. But again, it boils down to who they rate at what time, at one point of time. Me and Rohan were making the point that maybe Karim Jannat, they see him as a batter for certain situations, and Rashid Khan comes in just swinging his bat. Maybe that kind of a situation is what is warranted for him. But more importantly, I think if they look at yesterday's game, Saiyami, I felt maybe the usage of the bowlers was very important, because we spoke about Rashid coming in to bowl 7th over. More importantly, Noor, who put the brakes on them, started bowling only in the 10th over, in the 11th over, in fact, during your com box. So that is something which they need to look at. I know Ghaznfar didn't have the best of times, but who do you want to shore up more responsibility? Is it a Noor Ahmed, is it a Rashid Khan, or a Ghaznfar? As a captain, I would want to bowl the tougher overs. In fact, why him? You can look at even Nabi, because Nabi is somebody who's done that before. Nabi, during his captaincy tenure, bowled all the tough overs. So you've got in Hindi they say Pakawa player who's well experienced. So I think they've got enough bowling. So they shouldn't have allowed those many runs to be scored in the first place. So they would have been kicking themselves. And it may be 15, 20 runs too many because of the usage of bowlers. But tomorrow is a new day and an important day where, again, you need to bottle up all the pressure and make sure that you execute your skills.
So your players to watch out for then for tomorrow's game?
I'm going to go with Noor Ahmed and Nissanka.
Oh, yeah. I think I'll go with Noor as well. And I think I'm echoing your sentiments.
Wow,
Mr.
copy-paste there.
Wow.
It's a copy-paste for Kartik and Rohan Gavaskar. We will see what happens tomorrow. We'll get back to what's happening today. Are you all going to copy-paste your prediction scores as well?
Well, you go first.
I think I'm pretty bad at it. So it is UAE. I'm going 36.
Oh.
You were thinking the same?
You go.
42.
I'm going 38.
Okay.
I was going 38.
Okay.
So it's too close, very close to each other. But
36, 38, 42. So if you get 38, we all win.
yes.
39 also everyone wins.
Let's pray for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much so for playing like a team only, Kartik.
Yeah.
And suddenly when it comes to you coming closer, you'll want a bullseye. We've seen how you play this game.
Because it's not been working for me. That's why
Maybe you should play like a team and
I always play like a team, you know that.
Anyway, these numbers are locked. We cannot change
Yeah.
these numbers. It is a first ball 4, but we will stick to these numbers, and hopefully 38 it will be. So everyone wins in this team. That's what we hope for. That's all we have time for right now. Do join us at the 10 over point at the Cricbuzz Combox. Thank you for watching.